Hi, we're now moving into the Trecena of Toj, so we're going to look today a little bit about the properties of what that Trecena might bring to us. So, Toj is an awal of payment, it's an awal of sacrifice, it's an awal of the sacred fire, it's the energy of giving back, of returning. And there is something about the way that we live our lives as just being a human. From the moment that we're born, we're taking air, water, food, everything comes to us in one way or another. And Toj gives us the opportunity to give back, gives us the opportunity to thank, gives us the opportunity to pay up, as it were. Okay? So, whether it's considered to be a particularly easy or particularly pleasant thing to be going through, it's part of life. You know, it's the same as rain and sun. It's the same as day and night. It doesn't matter. It just has to be done. We have to come into balance in one way or another. So we have to give back for what we've received. And Toj gives us that opportunity. And Toj brings it into focus. So Toj is about paying off your debts in one way or another, whether that's emotionally, spiritually, physically, however it manifests. This is the time for it. So certainly, obviously, we can do this in the way that we might do it here through ceremony. And Toj is a part of the name Tojil. Tojil was the Quichean god that gave fire to the people. So the first fire came from Tojil, and the fire ceremonies which are made are very much associated with giving back, making payment, both to Tojil for giving the fire, but also to all of the Nahuales, to all of creation, to everything, for everything that we've received. So it gives us an opportunity. And this is what we see within the timing of the calendars. This is about opportunities. Because, we can use our opportunities to enhance the energy of what we're doing. We can choose to pay back. We can choose to pay up at whatever time we choose to. But when we coordinate this with an energy which is conducive, it can really help to settle the debts. It's like it has more impact. And so what we're coming up to is a 13-day period, a Trecena, where we're looking to pay off our debts to society, our debts to our friends and family, our debts to wherever it is that they're owed. And this is a powerful time to do it, because when we choose to do it right now, it kind of like settles the debts once and for all. So if you have things outstanding, then often they can cause an attachment. They kind of hold us back, because it's like we know that we've got that hanging over our head. We know that we should have maybe paid it last week, last month, last year, or whenever it might have been. But for one reason or another, there was always something more important that came along, and we kind of didn't get round to it. And our friend kind of didn't say anything, so they kind of let it go, and we kind of let it go. But that energy is still there. That energy still needs to be resolved. That energy still needs to kind of like come into balance. And we do that by making our offering, by paying our debt. Now, if we are, holier than holy, and we have no debts, it may also be a time when we can serve, because this is what Toj does. Toj, and the people that carry it, are often the unsung heroes of our community. They're the ones that do the jobs that maybe not all of us would really want to do. Maybe they're the ones that don't get paid so well for the jobs that they do, but they're also the kind of glue that holds the community together. The servers, the ones that serve, whether it's nurses, social workers, street sweepers, these are all the people that are doing the jobs which keep the community healthy. They all look after us in their own way, and they don't always get the recognition or the pay that they deserve for it. So this is what Toj is about. It's about taking some time to use your energy in order to serve and bring balance into your community. So you might use your energy by cleaning up around the place. You might go and pick litter. You might go and do something on behalf of your community in order to bring yourself into balance. And it's said that Toj is a really good signpost, because Toj will give us an understanding of when we're out of balance. It will give us an understanding of when we need to pay, and it gives us this understanding through sickness. So if we get sick, we're out of balance. If we get out of balance, then the chances are we need to bring ourselves into balance, and we do that by making a payment, by making an offering, by remembering to give back. So it's kind of like, it's a bit of an early warning system as to, hey, you're getting out of balance, you got a bit of a cough, a bit of a cold, and maybe there's something that you forgot to do on behalf of your community. So this can give us an opportunity to do that. So we're going to start with the day 1 Toj, and 1 Toj is the beginning of the payment. It's the beginning of the offering. It is a new payment that we can make. Maybe we find a new way to be of service within our community. Maybe this is the beginning of a ceremony, beginning of a cycle. Okay, so it is possibly remembering to pay some debts in a new way. But it's about instigating it. It's about initiating it, because the 1 is very much initiatory. And so it's taking this new thing and being able to give back for it. Okay, then we move into 2Z. So here we see a very interesting combination, because we have Z, which is the Nawal of faith and justice. It's the Nawal of loyalty and unconditional love. And we have the number 2 associated with it. So the number 2 represents dualities. It can represent lovers and relationships. And so this might be a day to look for justice in relationship, to even up the balance within a relationship. Okay, so if things have fallen out of harmony, if things have fallen out of balance, if you need to redress the balance within a relationship with a lover, or maybe something's happened, this is a day to seek justice for each. Now, this is not to say that you have to kind of like go against anybody in any way, shape or form, but justice is balance. It's the scales of justice bringing everything into harmony. Okay, and so maybe on this day, 2Z, we can bring things into harmony through unconditional love, through understanding, through loyalty, rebalance our loyalty, redress our loyalties. We then move into 3 Bats. So 3 Bats, Bats the creator, Bats the decorator, Bats the beautifier of the world, Bats the hand of the divine that engages with the creative urge, the creative essence, which helps us to beautify the world. And here we see it connected with the number 3. Well, the number 3 is that internal number, that number which works on the inner kingdom, that number which works with the home. So 3 Bats is a great day for the creation within the home. It's a great day to bring beauty into your home. Maybe if you got the chance to decorate something, to make something pretty, to weave something new into your home, this would be a great day for it. Interior design, interior decorating, all of that kind of thing we can see in 3 Bats. We then move into 4 Now, there's an interesting thing about because is the journey, and it might be the life path, it might be a path of knowledge, a path of understanding. It's the path that we take as we move through our incarnation, as we move through our world. Now, the number 4 very much represents the material plane, and so what this is very much about material movement. This is very much about the physical journey that we might choose to take. So it would suggest that the 4 day is a great day to be making a physical journey. It's a day to ask for obstructions in our physical journey, obstructions in our road to be removed, physical obstructions to be removed. So this is an idea. If you have to make a journey in the next 13 days or so, then 4 day is a really, really, really good day to be making it. It's a day when we're looking at physical movement and the understanding and learning that physical movement brings, because is a voyage of discovery. It's where we find stuff out. And so 4 suggests that what we learn through physical movement, through a physical journey. This is then followed by 5 So is one of the altruistic ones, right? This is kind of like when we see Toj as this one who's of service to their community. Well, Ach is rather like this as well. They are a leader within their community, but they're there to make sure that the community flourishes, to make sure that the community comes into harmony. And here we see it with the number 5. So what we're seeing is something where this is a day to dedicate your work in order to bringing harmony into your home, in order to bringing harmony into your community. So again, falling within the Toj Trecena, this is a day where we're using our work, our ability to use our physical energy in order to bring harmony, in order to pay back. You know, it's going to go out, take charge of something. Take responsibility for something. Make it happen for the betterment of everybody that lives in your community. This is followed by 6 Ish. So Ish, the Nawal of the shrines and altars. Ish is the Nawal of the sacred spaces. Ish is the Nawal of Mother Earth. And the number 6 represents the physical plane of existence, the number 4, with the up and down, the heaven and earth, the divine masculine and divine feminine coming into the physical realm. So this is really about seeing our connection, understanding our connection, drawing on Mother Earth and manifesting that into this world. Now, Toj, the ceremony, the payment to give back, Ish gives us a place to make those payments. It gives us a place to connect. It gives us the altars where we go and make our fire, where we go and make our Toj. And so what we can see is that on 6 Ish, this is a great day for making payments for everything that comes to us from Mother Earth. Now, the number 6 also represents the family in one way or another. It represents family values. So what we can see is that on 6 Ish, this is a great day for making ceremony to pay back for all that our family has received, everything that has brought stability to our family, everything that has come from heaven and earth in order to do that. The day 7 Tikin follows this. And 7 Tikin, we have Tikin, the bird, Tikin, the visionary, Tikin, the one who brings prosperity by being able to see ahead. And this is in 7. So 7 is the top of the pyramid. It's the bird sitting on top of the pyramid, the bird sitting on top of the mountain, the bird sitting on top of the tree in one way or another. And so the bird is able to see forward. This is what brings it its visionary aspect. And the number 7, well, this can also representing endings. There's one thing where it could be seen as representing choices, okay? So this Tikin may bring you many visions, and 7 might be saying, right, this is the time to choose between all the different visions, between all the different visions of prosperity that you have, those ideas about how you're going to bring prosperity into your community. But there's also this finalization, this ending. Okay, so it's kind of like make a choice which takes it to its natural termination. Choose to follow something to the end. Choose to follow your vision to its natural conclusion, to its natural prosperity. The 8th day of this Trecena is 8 Achmach. So 8 Achmach comes around. Achmach, our forgiveness, our day of forgiveness. Achmach, our day of being human, our day of sweetness. Achmach, that brings those things around, and sometimes the errors. Okay, so the 8th day is always the kind of like the big day of ceremony. It's the day on which we're going to go and make our fires. And Achmach is about the errors. It's about asking for forgiveness. And, you know, recognizing that we're only human after all. Now, we just come out of the Trecena of Achmach into the Trecena of Toj. And here we see what began on 1 Achmach being finished on 8 Achmach. Okay, so in this time of payment, in this Toj Trecena, here we are giving back. Here we are giving back, recognizing the error of our ways, recognizing that that's just part of being human. And this is not supposed to be taken in any kind of like negative stance at all. I mean, we're human. We just do things. We just try our best. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. And it's about getting up, dusting yourself off, and getting back on the horse again, you know. This is what it's all about. But we have the opportunity here to pay for our errors in the Toj Trecena on the ceremonial day of Achmach. Here we are. Let's pay it off. Okay? We done it. We can't go back and change it. We can't be guilty and shameful and all that kind of thing about the past. It happened. Deal with it. It's done. Let's move on. But let's make sure that we're not carrying the karmic burden of it, the energy of it anymore, by burning it away, by making an offering to the fire and say, thank you very much for that lesson. Now I'm done with it. I take that lesson, I incorporate it into my humanness, because that's what the lesson arrived from, and now I'm ready to move on. Okay, so that we have the opportunity to do with 8 Achmach. We then move to 9 Noch. So 9 Noch is a very, very interesting combination, because we have Noch, which represents the brain, the mind, and in some ways Noch can be a rather masculine Nawal. It can represent the logical thought. It does represent the whole brain, the whole mind, but there's something rather logical about it, which would tend to put it over onto the masculine side of things. But here we have it combined with the number 9, which is on the feminine side of things. The number 9, the number of the divine feminine. And so if we saw Noch as being rather square, we would see 9 as being round. The roundness comes to round the corners from the square and bring this feminine logic, as it were. It combines the two, and so this is why it's a really, really interesting combination to have. Now, it might be a day when, if we're looking for solutions to the problem, then we're kind of looking, we've got to look at the feminine way of doing it, the compassionate element. This is what brings compassion into logic. It's kind of like we're still going to solve the problem, but we're going to do it in a different way, and we're going to do it in a way where the polarities are maybe more combined. And so this can bring a particularly useful, beautiful and heartfelt way of solving material physical problems. From 9 Noch, we move into 10 Tichash. Tichash can be seen as both the healer and the warrior. Now, if we concentrate on healing, we have the number 10 associated with it. So the 10 is this, it's society, it's community, it's cooperation. So this could be a day of community healing. And this is something, again, when we see it, it's within the Toj Trecena. It's about paying back. It's about service to your community. And so what we're seeing is a day when we can heal the community. But how does Tichash do that? Well, Tichash does that by the use of the obsidian blade. And the obsidian blade cuts away that which is out of balance, that which is no longer required, that which is causing disharmony. So it can be a day when we might be kind of like seen as cutting away the things within our community or within our environment that cause a lack of balance, that cause a disease, that cause a lack of harmony, in order to bring healing. Okay, so once again, this could be as easy as cleaning stuff up, having an eye, having the discernment to see what needs doing, removing the things that don't serve in order to bring more prosperity, more harmony, more healing, more oneness to your community. 10 Tichash is followed by 11 Kawok. 11 Kawok, Kawok is the rain, it is the storm. Kawok is the midwife to the new life. Kawok brings new things into the world. And here we see it combined with the number 11. Now, right here, right now, well, the reason why I'm making this video inside is because it's actually been raining all day here. It's right in the, like at the last end of rainy season as we could see it, but it's really doing a proper job now. 11 Kawok is a very strong and unpredictable number. And so Kawok, as the storm, this might be a day of strong and unpredictable rains. Now, what we see, we've had this issue here with the lake. And one of the issues I understand is that the water temperature is too high. And it's too high because we haven't had sufficient rainfall. So since the rain has been falling since the day of One Achmach, the algal bloom which developed in the lake has started to dissipate, has started to disappear. And I don't think that it's because the rain diluted it, it's because the rain brought the temperature down and stopped the bloom from happening. And in this way, we see the feminine healing aspect of the rainstorm. We see the feminine healing aspect of the rain which comes. Kawok is very compassionate, but it is also very strong. It washes away the disease. It washes away the stuff that stands in our path. And here we have it combined with the number 11, this high number, this number which can represent going in many directions. And so we don't really know where it's going to come from next. But one thing's for sure, even though we might have to weather the storm for a while, it's going to clear the way for the rebirth, for the resurrection, for the new growth to come in. After 11 Kawok, we move into 12 Achpu. Achpu being the quest for the divine, the desire to find the holiness, the desire to look for the divinity in life, to find it, to go out there, to work out where it is. And the number 12 representing the bringing together of all of life's experiences into one bundle. So this is like Achpu brings us some kind of like day of discernment as well in one way or another. You know, there's a lot of things out there that look really good until we delve into them a bit deeper, and then we find actually they're not as divine or holy as we thought they were. It looked divine on the surface, but there's nothing under it. Achpu brings that out in us. It asks us to look closely and see the divinity in things and see where it all comes from. And here we can see that our life experience, that 12, is coming in to help us with that. When we take it into relationship of the Trecena of Toj, we can also understand that this might be a day where we might be giving thanks, where we might be repaying for all the divine experience in life, for everything that's taken us on that quest to find the divinity in life, for everything that has brought out that divinity in us, that's helped us to touch the divine within us and the divine in the world around us, that we've gained through our life experiences. And then the final day of the Toj Trecena is the day 13 Imosh. Now, this day may be very, very strong for many people. Imosh represents our collective consciousness. It's a psychic network that binds us all together. It's where we get our dreams from, where we get all our ideas from. And it very much kind of like, it represents the social media, it represents everything that connects us together, and we're really kind of overloaded by it right now. And here we have it connected with the number 13. Now the number 13 can represent the ancestors, it can represent the spirit world. So this can help us to understand our psychic connection to the other world. It might be that we get sent dreams by our ancestors, where we get sent dreams by the spirit world on this day 13 Imosh. But also I kind of see like the numbers rather like volume dials on a radio. So if Imosh is our psychic connection, and we've got it turned up to 13, this is a day when we need to be very, very aware of what we are connecting into. Because 13 Imosh might drive us completely crazy with some of the messages that come through. It's a very strong day. It's a day when we may want to kind of like put our filters on a little bit. Be aware of who you're around. Be aware of what and who you're engaging with. If you are asking for a dream from the ancestors, if you're asking for a dream from spirit, then you might want to isolate yourself so you understand what's coming through and where it's coming through from. Now that's not to say that there's not a great creativity that can come through this day. You know, all of the Nawales are there for a reason, and Imosh is one of the most fertile and creative days. It's where everything emerges from. It's where we all emerged from. And so this is really going into the origin of us, the origin of where we came from, tapping into that psychic network of our ancestors and bringing new things from it, bringing out the inspiration from it. It's just that when we're doing that, we want to make sure that we're tapped into the source that we're actually choosing to bring it out from, rather than just any old source. So As I said, if you're too connected to social media and that kind of thing on that day, you might find that it gets all a bit overwhelming. Okay, so that's the essence of the Trecena of Toj, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again in 13 days time. Thanks for watching.